Hey, Riddle here. This is going to be a long ranting video to help artists either considering being an artist or still in school or already in the game. We just need to have a talk because I've been an artist for decades, and the best thing I did for my art career was to go into real estate. And the reason that was the best move that I ever made was before I went into real estate, I didn't understand the most critical part of being an entrepreneur, meaning an artist or getting into any kind of business, is business. And if you think you're going to be able to avoid the business part of art and be successful or sane or even create enough work to satisfy your life goals and your desires while working another job, forget about it. But what I see now, being on the other side of the art spectrum, meaning not just being an artist, but also being an art collector, recently I have ran into more self-sabotage in regards to artist self-sabotaging and bullshit. And it made me so angry that all of these artists were so unprofessional and so self-sabotaging. So if you have these habits, or if you think the world is going to, serve itself up to you on a silver platter because you're so talented, you're delusional. I'm going to share some stories with you right now because, I can afford to buy art now. So I figure I'm going to give back, because sadly, especially here in America, the majority of the money is held by the tech industry, and all these kids, all these adults, all these people are making these massive incomes. But the problem is, like much of America, they had this industrial education, which means they have no education in culture or art or the things that keep society historically documented and glued together. So they're not buying art. They're outpricing galleries and artists from all the major cities, but they are not contributing or supporting culture at all. They're literally destroying culture. And I give my neighbors who are all in the tech industry the speech all of the time when I go to their home, and I'm in a home that's between $2 and $12 million, and the walls are empty. I mean, such poor taste. It's just shocking. Put something on your walls. Put something on your walls. If you have a home that's worth over $1 million and there's no art on the walls, and I don't mean a Van Gogh print from Walmart, I mean support a living artist. Because if you're in that demographic, it is your duty financially to support artists and to support art, because if you don't, then you are basically erasing the history of your life and the history of the time that you live in. And as you see from my collection, there's no right or wrong way. It's what you find beautiful and it's what you connect to. So here's some stories about what I experienced with artists this week. Was in San Francisco at a big festival. There was a young woman who had a big booth, self-taught. She merched out her designs, and she had a couple original paintings and a handful of prints. Her prints were not secured, and every time the wind blew, not only did her prints blow all over the place, but her original paintings that were really valuable would get blown and knocked over. So her one really gorgeous original painting that she was kind of showcasing had already sustained major damage. And I don't mean just around the edges of the canvas, but she had busted a hole through this thing because of her lack of professionalism. Not only did she damage her piece, but then she tried covering it up. And she was so proud of herself. But then she was going to charge over $3,000 for a busted ass piece of art. And I had to have the talk with her. And she knew what she was doing was unprofessional. And she knew that she needed some mentorship. And I basically reached out to her and said, hey, I'd like to buy a piece of your work, but I'm not going to buy broken shit. And you know, as a serious investor, a gallery, you are self-sabotaging, right? And she understood. She didn't argue with me. Gave her my business card, told her to contact me, never heard from her. Okay, on to the next artist. We were having a barbecue, and a young man shows up with his girlfriend, and of course they look like artists because that's the easy part, to knock up the thrift store and become a character. But he had, I guess for years he made these steel drums. You know those really cool steel drums that you can hit it in different places and it makes notes. And this drum was really nice sized. And it had a beautiful sound to it. And though I'm not a musician, I thought, wow, I think that would be really cool to have. And not only cool to have, but also to do maybe a larger piece or a couple different designs and do it outside in a stone garden. So we would have a sound garden. And so I basically said to dude, okay, great, how much? He gave me a price. I said, I'll take one. So, I put in an order. He seemed shocked, though he said he was making these because he was an artist and that he made these and sold them. Did he take my information? Did he ask for a down payment? Did he have a business card? Did he try to inspire me to make something maybe more valuable than, if I didn't even try to negotiate the price, and he could see my home and it's fancy Nancy opulence, did he try to inspire me by saying, oh, I have this, or I could do that, or I could, no. And basically, I'll probably never hear from him again. And this dude needs money. His quality of life, he and his gal pal, they are living on the edge. But if he follows through, I'm going to be completely shocked. Again, no business skills, self-sabotaging artist 2. All right, let's move on to self-sabotaging artist 3. So, neighbor coordinates this free music festival. It's an amazing event called Longstock. He said, oh, my partner Linda, now this gal's in her mid to late 60s. She teaches and she's an artist and she's an incredible watercolorist and you got to see her website and blah, 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 blah. So unlike most people, I actually took the time and went to Linda's website. Now, I was really impressed with her watercolor work. It was so great and it had so much potential. And the reason I say had potential is the same reason that, I think that people who do ceramics and they limit themselves to just utilitarian use of clay when you could do anything with clay. So Linda, like most women of her generation and age, she, even though her technique was undeniable in her watercolor skills, her subject matter was the same old lady shit. And, you know, my collection, a lot of my collection has either historical relevance, it's erotica, it's political. And yeah, I have a couple flowery things that I either did myself or someone gave to me as a gift. But for the most part, I want to support and I want to collect things that reflect the lifetime that I'm living in. So I reach out to Linda and say, Linda, your watercolor skills are amazing, but I would like to commission you to do something a little different for me. Now, again, I met Linda through this music event, and the music event was actually raising money to house the homeless. So first, right away, Linda shuts down, oh, the word commission makes me this and that and nervous and blah, blah, blah. Again, Linda doesn't have a lot, and I don't even know how much she has for retirement. But I'm guessing the area we live in, you know, this is like money. It's not only money, but she would be making a piece for a serious collector that someday this collection, a lot of this work, is going to wind up in a place of respect. It's not going to wind up in a garage sale or a thrift store, because I'm serious about collecting art, the quality of art, who I collect. So basically, Linda just like talked herself out of the commission. And this is what I wanted for the commission. You know, one of the biggest issues in our country right now is the homeless population. And of course, drugs and the homeless. But I wanted her to do a really colorful, very realistic, expressive painting, and not a small one, of a homeless camp. With the tents, with the garbage, with the whole deal. That's what I wanted. It's one of the biggest issues in America right now, but I'm not seeing it recorded through art. So I want my historical document of this done by a reputable, skilled artist. And she basically just didn't have the confidence, didn't have the passion, and even though I tried everything to convince her, she didn't take it. Then, of course, I'm like, okay, maybe I can find another qualified watercolorist to do this, project. And I go to Etsy, and of course, there's a million middle-aged to old women on there doing watercolors. But I found this particular woman, and her use of light and perspective was phenomenal. So I decided that I would reach out to her. I reached out to her via Etsy and via her website, and explained to her exactly, what I was looking for, and the commission and the size. And I'm still waiting to see if she gets it. Does she get it? Or is she going to just continue to paint magnolias and clusterfucks of wood violets? It's just so sad, how America has dumbed down their artists into craftspeople and into these, capitalist seals. And what I mean by that is that they just do pretty. That's all. They have to make the money. And so they've basically been reduced to just copying unemotional, uninteresting, non-historical, non-relevant, sycophantic garbage. Something that would only be worthy of hanging in a bathroom or a powder room. So, and the skill is there. That's the sad thing. The skill is there. And so now here I am, I'm stepping up and saying, I don't want you to change your whole thing, but I'm willing to pay good money for you to do this consignment piece. And this is what you're faced with from the artists. just a complete lack of confidence, a complete lack of passion, a complete lack of everything that an artist actually is. You know, a complete lack of being inspired by a challenge. It's just so disappointing to me, being an artist myself, you know, and having done numerous commission pieces that were, you know, challenging over the years. Sometimes I had to, you know, work through language barriers and cultural barriers. So, long story longer, and I'm sure I have another self-sabotaging artist story, but I'm forgetting it right now. If you're going to be an artist and you're going to label yourself and you're going to be a professional, be ready. Be ready for people like me and take yourself seriously. Be a professional, because as an artist who paid their dues and is a professional, it really pisses me off that anyone can just grab the label. They think they can just call themselves an artist. And then you ask them, well, show me your body of work. Show me how many exhibitions you have. You know, to me, it's equal to saying, because I can disinfect a wound and put a Band-Aid on something, that I'm a nurse or a doctor. You know, are you an artist? Do you have to create or you go crazy? Are you constantly challenging yourself and evolving? Do you have business cards? Are you prepared to follow through if someone approaches you professionally? Do you even have enough a solid body of work today that has not been shown before? And that means 12 to 13 of your best pieces. So if you had that opportunity to have a gallery show, you could actually do it. This is what defines a professional artist. A professional artist isn't just that you're selling enough to make a living. That's the American definition of a professional artist. A professional, there's so much more that goes along with the definition of a professional artist than just the fact that you sell artwork. And that's it. So wish me luck in my trek to try to find a professional artist to do this commission piece. And until then, if you have any questions about being a professional artist or anything I've said in this video, feel free to leave it in the comment box. I'm one of those few YouTubers that actually will respond to intelligent comments. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, because I believe how we treat each other on the streets is our ultimate reality.